beautiful people of the interwebs! I'm so happy to see you. I missed you so much. It's probably awkward for everybody. So I've installed a new mod, just a teeny little one that I wanted to get. It's called Expanded Jewelry Crafting by Lotta Centeni. And it's just a tiny little thing for expanding jewelry crafting, because that's actually called that.
Dark elves sleep just like the rest of us.
You wouldn't think it from the racket that corner club makes.
I'm sure the guards have the matter well in hand. Now, if you'll excuse me.
And it's hot as balls in here, so I have a fan on and it is pointed at me so that I do not die. I also have my hair up so that I do not die. So if you hear shh in the background, that's why. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I have to have it on or I just can't play because it's too damn hot. And let's see. I should mention I was messing around with the speed and stability guide for ENB since I last played, not listing it in the about because I spent hours following like every set of instructions that it had and it didn't do diddly, just wasted my time. Everything either had no effect for me or it actually had a negative effect on the performance and then I had to like basically undo everything. So I tried that, didn't work. I did go into SMIM and I changed a couple of the things, some of the stuff that I had installed just sort of because I wanted to see what it looked like, but I'm not going to be staring at that on a regular basis, so it doesn't really affect me. I turned off just in case it would help pick up a few FPS here and there. Wasn't a lot of stuff, obviously I kept the barrels and I kept most of the things, but I turned off just a few things that didn't matter to me. I think I turned off like the windmills and I don't know if I ever had the mugs on, but I turned those off. And let's see. Is there anything else I needed to tell you about? I don't think so. We already have a plan in place. Reesha does. She's here at the inn, or the... It's not called an inn, is it? It's called... Hall. It's called a hall. Candlehearth Hall. And she hired this guy last time. Oh, it's dark in here, isn't it? Hello. That's probably a bit odd to have that indoors. But she hired this guy just sort of, I don't know, she just felt good about having beat up that jerk over there in the stupid hat. And he was like, I offer you my services! And she was like, aye! So this is apparently Reesha's new follower. Let's hope he survives more than a day or two. That fella over there with the beard had asked her to go kill some bandits, and she was all like, yeah, bad bandits, I shall kill them, and she hasn't. So she's not going to talk to him, because that's embarrassing.
What is it now?
Did you notice that the snow settles?
Hello.
You know about Talos?
Yes?
He founded the Empire.
I know, he's the best.
We're the only temple in Skyrim that can openly worship Talos.
No, are other people here devout to Talos? He's my guy. I like him.
Like anyone, a crisis will push them towards devotion. I've been seeing a lot of the Shatter Shields since they lost their daughter. Hilevi Cruelty comes in a lot, but I haven't seen her husband here in years. Ulfric prays for strength. I speak to Captain Lonelygale, but he doesn't spend much time here. Too busy.
Actually, he's trying to stay away from Viola. So, can you tell me about Talos? Anything I don't already know?
Talos, who in life was known as Tiber Septim, united Tamriel and founded the Empire. He was rewarded for his deeds by being joined with the Divines in eternal glory, the only mortal to do so. We worship him that we might follow in his path. We can't literally join him in the heavens, but we may do our best to know them here on Nirn.
Thanks.
Blessings of Talos be upon you.
Thanks. I think I'm wearing actually my amulet of Talos.
To see you again, friend.
Captain
Oh, you can't see it.
Lord Nilsine has been wrecked since her sister was
It's
killed.
just kind of underneath my
Those
robes.
awful Thalmor can't touch us thanks to Ulfric.
Yeah, I
I've
guess that's
thought
a good
about it,
thing.
but I'm not sure.
Seeing a good tavern brawl might be just the thing to lift my spirits.
Dude, you totally
I
missed
can't
out.
believe the Empire would turn its back on Talos.
I know.
My wife
I know you're
hasn't been
upset.
gone that long after all. Ask me again on another day.
Did I rent a room? I don't remember what I did.
I'm
No, I
sorry
should
to
probably
be
do that.
such a bother.
Instead of just walking
We'll
in.
talk another time.
Hello.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
Maybe.
Those dark elf refugees will take over this city if we aren't careful.
For a moment, I forgot everyone in this town was a raging racist. What do you have for sale?
Let's sate that appetite,
It occurs to me that ever since I installed Realistic Needs and Diseases, I haven't actually eaten anything. And I should, because I know that there's... what do you call it? You know, the little videos. Oh wow, words that mean things. Can't think of them. Anyway, and I know that there's one for like eating bread, and I don't know if no matter what you eat, you're eating bread or what. So I'm gonna buy this here soup. And some tea. And I'm gonna sit down and eat.
Enjoy your stay. And don't break nothing.
I'll try.
I made
I'm
my fortune
very
as a sea captain, but now I'm retired.
Yes?
I think you have to be in third person. I don't know
The
if
top?
it works when you're sitting down.
Folk call me captain because I used to be a sailor.
Might not work when you're
Need
sitting
something?
down. And now I'm full, so if I eat again, I'm gonna be
I lost my
stuffed.
family years ago. Truth
fine, I'm
is,
going to bed
I don't
soon
really
anyway.
know
Here, dessert.
what keeps me going.
Ah, it is bread. Animation! Couldn't think of it. So it's bread, no matter what you eat. It's cool that there's an animation. That doesn't really interest me that much. Okay, hey, can I get a room? Because I'm gonna puke. Oh, yeah, can you fill these bottles with... Actually, no, I'm gonna try to fill it myself in the river. So can I get a room?
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Awesome, thanks.
I'll show you.
It's only
Room,
9.
right this way.
That's okay, I know where
Dark
it is.
elves
Let
had
me know
anything
if there's
to do with the
anything else you
murders.
need.
The attacks all happened at night, after all.
Viola, dark elves sleep just like the rest of us.
Yeah? What?
I can see why he gets tired of her.
I'm sure the gods have the matter well in hand. Now,
Just keep
if
saying
you'll
the same
excuse
stuff
me.
over and over again.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
I'm just gonna stand
This is
away
an
from
ode
the
to
conversation.
Skyrim's truest sons and daughters.
Because the other
Poor
thing
Nilsson
that
has been wrecked since her
I
sister
wanted
was
her to
killed.
do was to drink. And she's in a bar. She just had a bar fight, feeling good about herself, kind of stuffed.
Every night.
Shut up. Shut up, you racist prick. I swear to God. So she is going to have herself some mead.
I walk around the Grey Quarter and let them grayskins know what I think of
Oh,
them.
and she gets an empty bottle out of it. I hope she's gonna clean that out. Do you want a drink?
You've been a good friend to me. That means something.
Dude, we just met. You just really like that I beat that guy up, didn't you? Everybody here is thrilled. Can I give you something?
Sure, feel free to hand me all the gold you want.
I already gave you 500, man. Ooh, your weapons are shit. So that's a thing. No, I just thought you might like a nice nuke. Are you a Nord? I don't know, I can never tell. Is that racist? Probably. Here, take some mead. Guess I can't make you drink it.
Lead on then.
Maybe with you I felt I could. I don't know, I haven't looked into
I
it.
still
that
can't
carefully.
believe Isabella's gone. She was such a helpful young lass.
Well, I'm sober. Good. Because all I had was a mead. I didn't overindulge.
All hail to
Maybe
Alfred.
one more. Right? Probably wait a little while. Maybe just like a regular meal.
You are the high king. In your
Alcohol
great
doesn't quench
honor we
thirst.
drink
That's
and
not
we
how it
sing.
works. It's actually dehydrating. Anyway, okay, now I'm stuffed and I can barely move, and I've had a few drinks. Yeah, go find your own bed. So I thought that she might, before bed, just lie down and maybe read a book. I can. Yeah, no, come on in. Is it working? It's happening. No, I don't want to rest. I just want to lay down. Where am I? Where am I? Okay, I'm just standing on the bed. So that's not really, I wasn't really going for that. Going for the lying down in the bed. Sort of. There we go. There we go. Oh, she's lying there. She's gonna read a book. Sometimes you like to read before you go to sleep. I like to. And I have all of these books to read that do things. Like, I know they're gonna give me skill points or whatever you call it. I don't really know that that's what I want to read. I would kind of like to read this one because I think I already have a copy back home on the Asteria. So if I read this one, I can sell it regardless. So I think I'm going to read this one. So it's story time, boys and girls. You can take off if you don't like that. In fact, this whole video is going to be stuff like reading and crafting and trading and stuff like that. Probably on to the next before we take off to the cave to kill the bandit. So if that stuff bores you, you might just want to go to the next video. Oh, and this, by the way, is an organic oatmeal stout from either Wolavers or Wolvers. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's really good. That last organic one I had, it literally didn't taste like anything, but this is really nice. It's got lots of malt and molasses, but it's still a little bit bitter. It's nice. All right, The Doors of Oblivion by okay, I can see there's going to be some pronunciation problems already in this book. The Doors of Oblivion by Saif Hijja. Let's say, when thou enterest into oblivion, oblivion entereth into thee. Nigh Tyrol Lar. The greatest mage who ever lived was my master, Morian Zenus. You have heard of him as the author of the book on Oblivion, the standard text for all on matters Daedric. Despite many entreaties over the years, he refused to update his classic book with his new discoveries and theories because he found that the more one delves into these realms, the less certain one is. He did not want conjecture, he wanted facts. For decades before and after the publication of On Oblivion, Zenus compiled a vast personal library on the subject of Oblivion, the home of the Daedra. He divided his time between this research and personal magical growth, on the assumption that should he succeed in finding a way into the dangerous world beyond and behind ours, he would need much power to wander its dark paths. 12 years before Zenus, I don't know how to say it, began the journey he had prepared his life to make, he hired me as his assistant. I possessed the 3 attributes he required for the position. I was young and eager to help without question. I could read any book once and memorize its contents. Jesus. And despite my youth, I was already a master of conjuration. Zenus, too, was a master of conjuration, indeed a master at all the known and unknown schools. But he did not want to rely on his ability alone in the most perilous of his research. In an underground vault, he summoned Daedra to interview them on their native land. And for that, he needed another conjurer to make certain they came, were bound, and were sent away again without incident. I will never forget that vault, not for its look, which was plain and unadorned, but for what you couldn't see. There were scents that lingered long after the summoned creatures had left. Flowers and sulfur, sex and decay, power and madness. What does madness smell like? What does power smell like? Money. I bet it smells like money. Yeah. Still don't know what madness smells like. Chocolate chip cookies, maybe. That makes sense to me. They haunt me still to this very day. Conjuration, for the layman unacquainted with its workings, connects the caster's mind with that of the summoned. It is a tenuous link, meant only to lure, hold, and dismiss, but in the hands of a master, it can be much stronger. The Sigix and Dwemer can, in the Dwemer's case, perhaps I should say, could, connect with the minds of others and converse miles apart, a skill that is sometimes called telepathy. Over the course of my employment, Zenis and I developed such a link between one another. It was accidental, a result of two powerful conjurers working closely together, but we decided that it would be invaluable should he succeed in traveling to Oblivion. Since the denizens of that land could be touched even by the skills of an amateur conjurer, it was possible we could continue to communicate while he was there so I could record his discoveries. The doors to Oblivion, to use Morian Zenis' phrase, are not easily found, and we exhausted many possibilities before we found one where we held the key. The Sigix of Artaeum have a place they call the Dreaming Cave, where it is said one can enter into the Daedric realms and return. Iakeses, Sothasil, Nematig, and many others have been recorded as using this means, but despite many entreaties to the Order, we were denied its use. Celerus, the leader of the Order, has told us it has been sealed off for the safety of all. We had hopes of using the ruins of the Battlespire to access Oblivion. The Weir Gate still stands. Is it Weir or Wire? His Weir Gate still stands, though the old proving grounds of the Imperial Battle Mages itself was shattered some years ago in Jaeger Tharm's time. Sadly, after an exhaustive search through the detritus, we had to conclude that when it was destroyed, all access to the realms beyond, the Soul Cairn, the Shade Perilous, and the Havoc Wellhead had been broken. It was probably for the good, but it frustrated our goal. The reader may have heard of other doors, and he may be assured we attempted to find them all. Some are pure legend, or at any rate not traceable based on the information left behind. There are references in lore to Merrick's Abyss, the Corrington Mirror, the Mantle Crux, the Crossroads, the Mouth, a riddle of an alchemical formula called Jacinth and Rising Sun, and many other places and objects that are said to be doors, but we could not find them. Some exist, but cannot be entered safely. The whirlpool in the Abatian, called the Maelstrom of Baal, can make ships disappear, and may be a portal into Oblivion, but the trauma of riding its waters would surely slay any who tried. Likewise, we did not consider it worth the risk to leap from the Pillar of Thras, a 1,000-foot-tall spiral of coral, though we witnessed the sacrifices the Slodes made there. Some victims were killed by the fall, but some, indeed, seemed to vanish before being dashed on the rocks. Since the Slode did not seem certain why some were taken and some died, we did not favor the odds of the plunge. Maybe you could just bungee jump it, do you think? Do you think that would work? The simplest and most maddeningly complex way to go to Oblivion was simply to cease to be here and begin to be there. Throughout history, there are examples of mages who seem to travel to the realms beyond ours seemingly at will. Many of these voyagers are long dead, if they ever existed, but we were able to find one still living. In a tower off Zafrabel Bay, on the island of Ardenfell in the province of Morrowind, there exists a very old, very reclusive wizard named Devaith Fear. He was not easy to reach, and he was reluctant to share with Morian Zenis the secret door to Oblivion. Fortunately, my master's knowledge of lore impressed Fear. Is it Fire? Or Fear? Fear. And he taught him the way. I would be breaking my promise to Zenis and Fear to explain the procedure here, and I would not divulge it even if I could. If there is dangerous knowledge to be had, that is it. But I do not reveal too much to say that Fear's scheme relied on exploiting a series of portals to various realms created by a Telvanni wizard long missing and presumed dead. Against the disadvantage of this limited number of access points, we weighed the relative reliability and security of passage and considered ourselves fortunate in our informant. Morian Zenis then left this world to begin his exploration. I stayed at the library to transcribe his information and help him with any research he needed. Dust, he whispered to me on the first day of his voyage. Despite the inherent dreariness of the word, I could hear his excitement in his voice echoing in my mind. I could see from one end of the world to the other in a million shades of gray. There is no sky or ground or air, only particles, floating, falling, whirling about me. I must levitate and breathe by magical means. Zenis explored the nebulous land for some time, encountering vaporous creatures and palaces of smoke. Though he never met the prince, we concluded that he was in Ash Pit, said to be the home of Malakath, where anguish, betrayal, and broken promises like ash filled the bitter air. The sky is on fire, I heard him say as he moved on to the next realm. The ground is sludge, but traversable. I see blackened ruins all around me, like a war was fought here in the distant past. The air is freezing. I cast blooms of warmth all around me, but it still feels like daggers of ice stabbing me in all directions. This was Cold Harbor, where Malag Bal was prince. It appeared to Zenith as if it were a future Nirn, under the King of Rape, desolate and barren, filled with suffering. I could hear Morian Zenith weep at the images he saw and shiver at the sight of the Imperial Palace spattered with blood and excrement. Too much beauty, Zenith gasped when he went to the next realm. I am half blind. I see flowers and waterfalls, majestic trees, a city of silver, but it is all a blur. The colors run like water. It's raining now, and the wind smells like perfume. This surely is Moon Shadow where Azura dwells. Zenith was right, and astonishingly, he even had audience with the Queen of Dusk and Dawn in her Rose Palace. She listened to his tale with a smile and told him of the coming of the Neravarine. My master found Moon Shadow so lovely he wished to stay there, half blind forever, but he knew he must move on and complete his journey of discovery. I am in a storm, he told me as he entered the next realm. He described the landscape of dark twisted trees, howling spirits, and billowing mist, and I thought he might have entered the deadlands of Mehrunes Dagon. But then he said quickly, no, I am no longer in a forest. There was a flash of lightning, and now I am on a ship. The mast is tattered, the crew is slaughtered. Something is coming through the waves. Oh gods. Wait, now I am in a dank dungeon, in a cell. He was not in the Deadlands, but Quagmire, the nightmare realm of Vermina. Every few minutes, there was a flash of lightning and reality shifted, always to something more horrible and horrifying. A dark castle one moment, a den of ravening beasts the next, a moonlit swamp, a coffin where he was buried alive. Fear got the better of my master, and he quickly passed to the next realm. That Vermina is evil. I heard him laugh. I feel like I'm home now. Morian Zenith described to me an endless library, shelves stretching on in every direction, stacks on top of stacks. Pages floated on a mystical wind that he could not feel. Every book had a black cover with no title. He could see no one, but felt the presence of ghosts moving through the stacks, rifling through books, ever searching. It was Apocrypha, the home of Hermaeus Mora, where all forbidden knowledge can be found. It's heaven! He found heaven! I want to go there. I felt a shudder in my mind, but I could not tell if it was my master's or mine. Morian Zenith never traveled to another realm that I know of. I wouldn't have left either. That's awesome. Throughout his visits to the first 4 realms, my master spoke to me constantly. Upon entering the Apocrypha, he became quieter, as he was lured into the world of research and study, the passions that had controlled his heart while on Nirn. I would frantically try to call to him, but he closed his mind to me. Then he would whisper, "This cannot be. No one would ever guess the truth. I must learn more. I see the world, a last illusion's shimmer. It is crumbling all around us." I would cry back to him, begging him to tell me what was happening, what he was seeing, what he was learning. I even tried using conjuration to summon him as if he were a Daedra himself, but he refused to leave. Morian Zenith was lost. I last received a whisper from him 6 months ago. Before then, it had been 5 years, and 3 before that. His thoughts are no longer intelligible in any language. Perhaps he is still in Apocrypha, lost but happy, in a trap he refuses to escape. Perhaps he slipped between the stacks and passed into the madhouse of Sheogorath, losing his sanity forever. Yeah, but at least he'd have strawberry tarts. I would save him if I could. I would silence his whispers if I could. Yeah, I imagine that's not particularly pleasant. Probably happens at 3 a.m. Burns himself trying to light a candle. No, I really want to sleep now. Wait! Okay, that's fine. No, I'll just stand on the bed. That's good. Never perfect, are they? The mods. Actually, I should probably take, like, my shoes off and stuff, so. Clothings. Where are my clothings? Take off my boots. Take off this stuff. He's turned his back. Oh, he's so polite! I didn't even have to ask him. Thank you. Are you just gonna stand guard there? Oh, he's nice. Alright. I'll just have a nice long sleep because I'm really, really full.
Captain! Captain!
What is it now, Viola?
Jeez.
Did you notice?
Still got his back to him. I am going to put on my fine clothes. My fine clothes. And these boots. As if I
The
recall,
snow
that looked
settles in a
pretty
different direction near the murder sites.
Don't you think all your tramping around there investigating might have something to do?
Whoops! I don't need that. Put my stuff on. So you can see I definitely need to do some trading.
Well, perhaps. But still,
Perhaps.
it's
Maybe
curious.
It's not really curious though if you realize why it's happening.